Welcome to the Sylvan Healing Sanctuary. This is being recorded on behalf of Healing Awareness Week for the year 2024. I am Craig Rebuck and this is Feroze Dada. We are both here to have a discussion about healing, meditation within healing, the subject of healing, the subject of meditation, and how it plays out. So without spending too long on this conversation, over to you, Feroze.
Thank you, Craig. I think it's wonderful to participate in the Healing Awareness Week. The topic that you have given to me to consider is meditation within healing. So the obvious thing to say first, Craig, would be that there are so many benefits of meditation. In fact, I was looking at one of the websites of the EDC Institute, and it lists 141 benefits of meditation. Now, I don't think you'd want me to go through those, but basically they fall within these four categories, which are physical benefits, mental benefits, emotional benefits, and spiritual benefits. But perhaps I'd like to ask you a question that explain to the viewers a little bit as to what we do insofar as healing is concerned at the sanctuary. So then we can merge our meditation within the healing you're talking about.
So there are two practical types of healing that take place at the sanctuary. The first is a digital version, whereby it's what's known as distant healing, whereby we're working with the vibrational relationship between the practitioner and the recipient. And that would be that a person would be within their own home, they may be within the same town, within the same country, or they may be halfway around the world. It doesn't matter because it is working at an energetic vibrational level. The second is a slightly different variation whereby the person is face to face with the practitioner. So they're in the room, there is a contact, there is a touch, there is an emotional and energetic sharing within the healing space. It's different, but it's the same. It's different because there is a different energetic vibration between the two variations. But fundamentally, the principles are very much the same. Some people find it difficult to tune into a meditative, quiet space. Others, and those people prefer to actually have literal contact work. They want to feel that something is happening, this sense of, is it in my head or is it actually taking place? Yeah. How does that?
No, I think that explains how you give energetic healing. I think that's really how you're explaining, and that can be either remotely or actually face to face or hands on, as you call it. My conversation with you, and we've had this conversation many times, is how much does a client or patient, whichever way you want to put it, participate in this process? So if I were to say to you that the healer is a sort of transmitter and the person being healed is a recipient, does the recipient have to have a particular state of mind, particular role to play in this healing? Yes.
So I think I can answer that in two ways, yes and no. So let's do the no first. No, they don't need to. They don't need to do anything. If an individual is coming for healing, they're coming because there is something going on within their life that they want to try to find out. Whatever the varying position of grief, loss, difficulties, whatever the hurdle is that they're facing at that moment in their life, they may have arrived at a place whereby the medical model doesn't work for them. They're looking for an alternative. And this is one of the many alternatives. And in that process, that alternative is available because an individual is seeking that. Now, the question is about, well, if you're seeking, what are you seeking? If you're seeking this, can I get touched on the shoulder and all will be well? Of course, that's possible. Of course, it can happen. It's rare, but it does happen. But what is your role as an individual within the process? And I think this is where somebody who comes who is seeking, but is seeking and doing the work is really important. And I think that I'm going to throw back at you. What is it that the seeker is actually doing?
Thank you. I think that so in a sense, if you are the transmitter and the patient is the receiver, it is important that you tune in a sense, to the vibrations of the healer, because one could, you and I both know that somebody walks skeptical, does not believe, is not open. How about that? Yeah. Open to receiving the healing, they're likely to derive less benefit than the person who is open, who's trusting. Let me
different benefit.
Well, I would say a greater benefit if a person who participates is open to receive, has trust and belief as well. I know it sounds, but I believe that in this way, meditation plays a central role, particularly for us to show some techniques so that two things happen when a person comes to you for healing. Example, first of all, you want them to be calm and aware of what is going on. Now, often that's not always possible, but a person who we can show techniques of breathing, for example, breathing meditation will if they are practicing a little bit of it before they come, after they sit after the healing, they'll be calm and focused, if you like, and aware to receive the healing, the energy. The second part is to open your heart in a way that you have some faith and trust in what is going on. Again, we have a meditation, as you and I know, called the heart meditation, which opens up our intuition and our perception rather than the sort of filter of the mind. And this is what I believe our patients can derive a benefit when they are calm, focused, and open to receiving the healing. And then once the healing is received, to be able to keep that energy with them and keep get the best out of what the healer is doing. So in a sense, I guess meditation directly within our healing environment is beneficial, I believe.
So I think I want to sort of tease this a little bit, because one of the areas that I've always felt is a difficulty for people is, if you do this and if you go there, then this is going to happen. That sort of quite linear process. And I think that for a lot of people who do sit in meditation or do practice meditation, they find it very difficult. And if they're not successful, because there is no way of measuring an inner success of meditation, it is a sense of well-being for oneself that one finds. And I think that what I would like to get across is that it's okay to meditate and to be in a place where you are just seeking. It doesn't have to have an answer. But the fundamental difference between somebody who is spending time within themselves, looking and wanting to understand what is taking place, what is that dis-ease within their psychological or physiological sense, a person that is following a meditative practice will be more open to receive I was almost going to say deeper type of healing, but that's linear in its own sense, more of a profound experience for themselves. It will enable themselves to feel something at a level that will support their heart and soul.
Yeah, I think that they couldn't I couldn't have put it better. I think it is so. But and always remembering, and this is what we offer at our Sylvan Healing Sanctuary, is that people also learn meditation. If they're not always involved in the healing process, meditation in itself, it has huge benefits to well-being. Yes. So they're not mutually exclusive, except to say that if you merge them two together, if you like, I think it has a profound impact. As I've discovered for myself, that when I come sit with you for healing or even meditation, there are two things happening: the vibrational levels and the impact of what you receive is very significant because you're open to it. You see, you're open to it, and you're tuning in. The transmitter and receiver are on FM or DAB rather than some long wave frequency. So I think at the end of the day, a lot of what we do is vibrational, is energetic, and it's not words and mind, it's almost intuitive and perceptive. And for that, you need to open your mind, but more importantly, open your heart.
So can you feel the vibrational connection at this moment in time in this dialogue?
No question about it. No question about it. And
so what does it feel like for you in this moment?
Well, it's like
so there are people.
Electric current. There's a current. There's a vibrational current, which takes me to this: that what is the difference between healing hands-on and healing, say, on Zoom? Because there, the vibration is not being channeled from, if you like, directly from the healer. Something else is happening.
Yeah.
And then meditation begins to play an even more important role because you really have to be open.
Yeah. So I think it's the case of this narrow field being opened up in order to experience and to feel that the difference. It's that the recipient of both the healing and the meditation has this greater openness and awareness to be able to receive something, and there is something more profound that is taking place. And it's not always clear. It's more of this gradual process. Healing is very much about understanding and learning and seeking. And I know we've used this word, I've used this word quite a few times today, but I do feel that people that are looking through a meditative process for themselves or are coming for healing or any complementary are seeking something that is to find an inner balance. That's what life is about, is to how do we find that balance between our mind, body, our spirit, our soul, to find that dance so that we can live a more comfortable life. And the value that you have specifically brought about teaching meditation to patients that are receiving healing, I think has been invaluable. But you have brought a different process.
Thank you. But what is more important is that the people who come to us perhaps need to appreciate, if you don't mind my saying, that them helping themselves is also a very important role in the healing process. There's some, a patient who comes regularly, gets healing, goes back, does nothing, will keep coming back, I'm afraid to say. But a person who comes, receives, and maintains that healing, if you like, within themselves and replenishes it with meditation, relives it through meditation, is always going to help themselves. So I think it is about creating the capacity to receive the healing. See, if you come in without an open mind, open heart, your own capacity is limited. If you open your heart, you have an ocean inside you to receive rather than a glass of water. So I think this is what we're trying to say, is that is the patient creating an ocean, or are they a river or a glass of water? And that is up to them. Up to us is to deliver the healing, of course.
Well, I think that society has evolved in the last 30, 40 years. And that I would say that in the early days of this very ancient art, the recipient would come, the healer would give healing, they would expect to be better, and they would go off and thank you very much, they could continue living their life, as I experienced this with many people. But today I think there's a real understanding that you have to do what's known as your kitchen work. You have to get down into the kitchen. If you want a good meal, you have to make an effort. You have to eat well, you have to sleep well. Meditative practice, whether it's short, whether it's long, whether it's regular, whether it's irregular. Walk in nature, have the right sense of feeling, have your own positive mental approach. They're all the keys to a rounded wellness. And meditation is a key and a tool for us to use for ourselves in order to be in that place of balance.
I mean, although not the direct topic of our subject, Craig, there's also the expectation of the patient. I mean, are they expecting that the problem they have will be resolved? Are they expecting another solution? I mean, are they open to receiving something which they're not asking for, something which could be better in a way? And I think there's always a difficulty, again, with the recipient own expectation of what healing is.
Well, I think that the role of the healer is they're not therapists, they're not psychiatrists. We're not body practitioners in a context. We are enabling a wellness around a spiritual connection. But the balance between mind, body, and spirit is very much the role that the healer plays. And to have a person who arrives with a mind that is more balanced, that has a balance of expectation, to not expect that the healer is going to give them the answer to their financial problems or whether or not they should stay within their marriage. These are part of their life journeys. They have to face these things. The role of the healer is to support the individual to do that, to find the way to be able to become stronger, to mature, to individuate, to become an adult. And many people still want the answers to be given by others because they're frightened to make a mistake. So if somebody else makes it, then they don't have to make the mistake.
Very good. I think if I were to round up this conversation, I would say, Craig, that we're so fortunate that at our Sylvan Healing Sanctuary, we offer not just healing, but we also offer meditation. We offer techniques where people can begin to be calm and peaceful and receive healing at the same time. I think we're very fortunate that we are able to offer that.
We create the spaces for people to either come physically or online, and I'm sure we will do more of those as this year and other years go on. But thank you, Feroze, for spending your time. I really appreciate it. On behalf of Sylvan Healing Sanctuary and Healing Awareness Week, we wish you well and thank you.
Thank you.